Hi, I'm Nick and I'm excited to apply for the CEMS program in Nova. Today, I would like to talk about three things. First, my community contributions. Secondly, a personal success story of mine. And then finally, also personal failure, which I rather see today more as a lesson learned. Starting with my community contributions. I think the first contribution after graduating was actually organizing our annual summer camp at our local hockey club for the girls and boys of under 12 and under 11. I really enjoyed creating not just an environment where they can all thrive, but also teaching them the sport that I love, combining with the importance of teamwork, fair play, and of course, discipline. Seeing them thrive and actually learning something new and building really meaningful relationships was really, really meaningful for me, and I enjoyed that. Also, this summer, I organized an event for children who have disabled siblings. I wanted to create, with a partnership with Hospice, created an environment that they actually have a safe place to go to exchange how they perceive their lives and also their daily challenges. Because of course, for these children, it was super difficult because most of the time their parents are busy taking care of their siblings. So I just wanted to create an environment where they know that they are not alone. Now I would like to continue by talking about my success story, which is also the reason why I'm actually here today, because I realized that data is super important to make informed management decisions and of course investor decisions in this particular example. Because when I went to Itrium, a growth investor in Germany who invests all over Europe, I realized quite quickly that the associates were having way too much information on their desk and they couldn't make informed decisions fast enough. So we actually, interns, had to take over most of the time, do repetitive tasks for them. And I sat down with my supervisor, spoke to him and thought about, can't we solve that better? Can't we make your life a bit easier? And he really liked the approach from me there. And so what I did afterwards, when I got the go to do it, sat down with our data analyst and we tried to implement on a new data tool, pre-sort all the deals who come in, pre-sort them if they are actually interesting for us and in which stage they are, and in generally collected more data on the whole ecosystem. And I really enjoyed doing that, and it actually also had real impact. Not just the people coming over really appreciating our output, we actually made it increase the data synchronization by 25%, and the whole funnel time for a deal to be analyzed was 15 times faster than before. And we actually increased also the top funnel by 2,000 leads. And I'm super proud to even say now that one of the last investment from Itrium was also went through our funnel. And it's just great to see actually not just to get the positive feedback, but to have real outcomes. And I also hope to get that out from the CEMS to work on something meaningful, think about how we can solve issues for others proactively. And yeah, I think that was so far my biggest success story in my young professional career. But of course, it can't always just be ups. There were, of course, many downs. And I think one of the most personal failure of mine, or the biggest personal failure so far in my life, was during my final season as the captain of my hockey team, where I made a crucial mistake. And that actually taught me one of the most important lessons for today, is that how important leadership is. Because we were in a crucial game leading up to the national championship, was the semifinals, and of course tensions were high. And one of our players made repeated mistakes in defense. And instead of supporting him, I got super frustrated, gave very direct criticism, shouted at him in front of the whole team. And even though my intentions were to wake him up, to motivate him, it actually had the opposite effect. He completely shut down afterwards. And of course, also, unfortunately, our team dynamics collapsed. And we ended up losing the game, didn't go to the finals. But quite soon afterwards, I realized that we didn't lose just because the other team was better, but because I let my emotions get the better of me, and that I failed as a leader. So afterwards, I realized, how can I do that better in the future? How can I create a constructive environment? So then for the first time, realized how important it is to really understand what each person needs in order to thrive. And I think it taught me very important. It's not always important to be the loudest in the room. Just sometimes take back, do one-on-one meetings with people and try to motivate them than rather criticizing them. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. And I'm super excited to apply for CEMS. Thank you.